I was trying to watch what she did, so next time she's not here,
I wrote a detailed how to.
Did you?
I
Okay.
did.
We just went through it with
Good.
me and Marjorie too.
All
we
right,
struggled. We were on the struggle bus.
we're ready.
Okay, thank you. I'll call this Town of Vinalhaven Board of Selectmen's meeting to order for Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. Number one, roll call, Tom Anthony, Lad Olson, Don Young, Leslie Dyer, myself, Elizabeth Bunker, and Marjorie Stratton. Number two, move to approve agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Number three, move to approve the minutes from the May 6, 2025 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Number four, move to sign the treasurer's warrant. Number 47,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor? Number five, communications. Thank you letters from Life Flight, Penquist, and New Hope for Women.
Well, we received nice letters for our donations to all those organizations. Certainly, if you want copies of any of these, I'm happy to make them and get them to you. Or I just wanted to acknowledge that we did receive nice thank you letters from all of the organizations.
Nice.
Any questions? Number six, speakers from the floor. Seeing none, I would like to welcome the sixth grade class. They're here, it's a technology class, and they're all here to observe the select board meeting. And if they have any questions, they certainly can raise their hand and speak up if they'd like, or if not, you can just sit and listen. You all set, guys? Okay, thank you, welcome. Number seven, committee and departmental reports and appointments. A, downtown project and brick grant update. Hi, Gabe.
Hi there. How's everyone doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
Good. So I know you've been getting, I haven't been at the last couple meetings, but Marjorie and Pam, I'm sure, have updated on the downtown project. So as you likely know, we have many components out to bid. So the stormwater, the roads, the sidewalks. So essentially like all of phase one is out to bid. And then we have, and the water main as well. And then we have the water district building, which is also out to bid now. So the bid closing is for all of the projects is June 4th. We have a pre-bid meeting for the road and water tomorrow. We already had it for the stormwater and the building. We do have quite a few people bidding, or at least on the bidders list, who have requested bid documents, many more than last time. I know last time we had like 4 that requested and then 1 that bid, but there's definitely, over 6 requested for all the project components. So that's a good sign. Some more than that. So yeah, just fingers crossed that we get, more than 3 bids. That would be amazing. If we get 3, we'll be happy. But if we get more than 3, that would be a great thing. So again, that bid closing is, it's on June 4th. So the opening of the bids will be at 2:00 on June 4th, and that will be conducted by Woodard and Curran. So I don't know if folks have any questions as of now.
I was just gonna mention that the de-scoping of the project apparently was the correct way to go, Gabe, and I think that's important to mention that was a good move on your part.
Well,
You
yeah, no,
worked hard
and I appreciate that, the project team was willing to make that decision, because I do think, hopefully that is what has helped. I mean, it's hard to know, but we knew that was a factor. So yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see a long list of folks that have requested the bid documents. So yeah, we'll see. The proof will be in the proof is in the pudding, right? We'll see what
So they
happens.
say.
We'll see what happens. It's like each step of the way, like we have to get the bids and we have to see how much they are. Hopefully the additional money we acquired is, is going to be sufficient. So we'll see how it goes, but that's the update for me on downtown project. Marjorie, I don't know if there was anything that I'm missing that you wanted to add.
I can't think of anything unless anybody has any questions about any aspect of the project.
Okay. Then the other piece is the BRIC grant, which the BRIC program, I'm sure we talked about this and you likely have heard about that. The program itself was canceled, or the program has been ended through FEMA. And so um, applications that were going in were canceled, and there was a little bit of discrepancy around communities that had existing awards, which Vinyl Haven had an existing award, whether or not they would be able to proceed. And we're still sort of in this kind of weird space with it in terms of so on paper, Vinyl Haven is allowed to proceed with, like it's the BRIC grant to the first milestone of the grant, but project management costs, which is like 20 something thousand dollars that FEMA gives to communities to help support actually administering the grant, like they've taken that away. That's not part of it anymore. So I guess my point really is, like, I just wanted to update you on it. And I'm wondering if it makes sense. It's hard for me to provide any information not knowing if that information is going to change. And like FEMA's in the same position. Every time we ask, it's, well, we're trying to get clarity on this. This is the last we've heard. Uh, and we don't know if that's going to change. My initial thought was like, oh, we should just, let this go and not pursue this using these funds and just cancel the contract on our end. But also, I'm just getting encouragement from the folks at the state that it's like, you don't do that until, there's really no other, like, keep it as an option in case the town decides that they want to use it. But my concern is, I kind of feel like we want to make a decision one way or the other, because they're not going to extend any project timelines. And the longer we wait to do any of the project, it just means our timeline to do that work gets shorter. So I guess I'm wondering is, like, do you want me to provide you with some more information, like about the project, the way it's set up in terms of how it's funded, like in order for you to make a decision as to whether you want to cancel it or if you want to try to get some advantage out of it. I'm just trying to figure out what you all would need to make that decision, if anything. And maybe
Yeah.
I'm being premature and canceling it. Maybe we should still just sit on it, but
Gabe, is this a drawdown grant?
yeah, unfortunately, it is. Yeah, and there have been some changes. Like North Haven has one of these grants, and they said that initially they were waiting. They submitted an invoice in December, and then FEMA was doing this thing where they were doing like a step-by-step review of everybody's reimbursement requests, and they, like, at the end of March or early April, they still hadn't gotten their money. But then they changed that and they made it so people are getting like a 30-day turnaround now. So, but yes, it means that the town would be providing an outlay of funds and then waiting for FEMA to get reimbursed, which is not in my mind, that's like a little bit, that's like, not even a little bit, in this situation, it's nerve-wracking to think about something like that.
Right, right. Do you guys want to have her email us information just for a refresher, so we
Yes.
have,
That'd be great.
okay. Do you want to do that, Gabe?
Yeah, sure. I'll put something together and have that go out. Well, do you want me to just include it in your next packet?
Is it easier to do that versus email?
I
If
mean,
we
it
had a little
depends.
bit-
What's best for everybody?
Email.
Yeah, a little bit beforehand would be good, so we could have a
Yeah,
chance
the
to review
earlier
it.
the better.
Okay. Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Gabe.
Thanks, Gabe. Thank you.
You all set?
Yes, thank you
Okay.
so much.
Nope, thank you. We'll move to 7B, Public Works. Hi, Millie.
Hi there.
Hiding in the corner.
Hide in the corner
Been
where
a
I
bad,
like to
she's been a
be.
bad student, we put her over in the corner.
Yeah, I should be standing there. Probably been there before. Nothing new for us right now. We're sweeping, well, we swept today. Obviously, we haven't had the weather with us, so it's been really rough. I had intended on doing all the sweeping at night so that we didn't have to deal with traffic, and every night that we've had planned, it poured, and a little water's fine, but it's just been too wet to do it at night, so I'm getting nervous about Memorial Day and such, so we did Main Street and parking lot today, the best that we could, to get around, we had to go around some vehicles and such, but a lot of it got done. We picked up over 6 yards of dirt on the roads today, so that was a good day in my book.
Do you repurpose that?
Can't be
Okay,
used.
just curious.
We've been grading, same things happening. We did Caldo's Neck first out because we always do. And that one went fine. We moved on to start with Core Farm, Coombs Neck, State Beach, Goose Quarry, and Core Farm was very soft, and we ended up having to fix more than we smoothed over, so I'm gonna give that another week or so and then go into some of the other places. Brown's Head is still pretty wet. Tiptoe's pretty wet, Zeke's Point. So hopefully we'll get that done. We've been ditching, changing culverts, adding culverts. We just put one in up at Pools Hill. There's been an ice patch right outside Mike Buck's old house there. All winter, there's been a lot of ice there, and ice building and building. So we put a small ditch in with a culvert across, and we were taking it down to the fire pond down below, and we ran into an overabundance of ledge. We tried chipping it up with a hydraulic hammer, and we got some, but not enough. So now I've got to take another culvert and take it back across the road and down into this side of the fire pond instead, so.
Where is that, Millie?
That's Pools Hill.
Oh, okay.
So, right now, it's dug up and there's a ditch with probably a foot of standing water in it. It will change, I promise, but it's probably gonna be a week or so before we can get in there. And then, paving is scheduled to start June 9th. So tomorrow, we're gonna go and just take bad places out, of the road, start ripping up the bad stuff. Removing rocks and everything that we can get out of the ground before we pave. And then we'll put down a binder coat the rest of the length over, I'm looking at probably 6 weeks, Monday through Thursday. And then Friday and Saturdays, everybody's gonna do their own, like, we'll be catching up on our stuff and they'll be catching up on their stuff, so. All in all, I think we're in a good place. There's just a lot to be done and little time to do it.
I forgot to look today, were there a lot of traps in the parking lot?
Not as bad as I've seen it.
Cause that's always nice to get that
Yeah,
swept up.
no, I'm hoping that they get it out of there, before Monday. But we won't have a chance to get back there and sweep again. But I think it was just a trailer that I went out around, and then a couple, trucks fishing and parked there. You expect it,
Yeah,
but,
good.
for the most part, it's certainly better. It's not covered in gravel and rocks.
Yeah, yeah, great.
And there's a ad in the wind, that'll come out Thursday, Friday,
Yes.
to clean up traps and such.
Reminder, yeah, that starts, yep, okay. And Jim's usually good about contacting the guys that leave traps there too long. He's good about that, so, okay. But do you have more on this?
No.
Okay.
We'll be on around the island road tomorrow. Please don't.
All right, so with that, we will move to old business, number 8, and parking tickets.
So, I apologize, I wasn't here for the last meeting, I was sick for
Oh, that's
4
fine.
days, couldn't even get out of bed. So at this point, you would ask me to talk to, the Knox County, deputies about who goes to court, I think was pretty much the only question you had. And they said nobody really has to go to court for parking tickets or such. Oh, good. Okay, thank you. With all my changes? Okay. So pretty much you don't have to if it gets to that point. You can tow the vehicle, obviously. You can get a boot. Boots are $60 that fit up to a size 250 pickup, down to a small car. You get them for $60 to $100 online if you want. Or you can, send it to the breeze and whatever, but I mean, I think most people, I would expect, would pay, hopefully, without too much hassle. I know when we impound them, they do.
That's the advantage you have
But,
when you impound them.
right,
You have the car.
right.
With
You
the
have the car.
parking ticket, you don't have that
Well,
advantage.
You might not, but you can get that advantage if you need to, or like I said, a boot catches people's attention really quick, so. And that does not allow the vehicle to be moved. But they're willing to do tickets, and then we just process. I'm pretty comfortable with the idea of processing the tickets. I think Monkey and I have a pretty good system set up for the tows. I mean, I have paperwork that I have to do for that as well. And the tows are certainly slowing down. A lot more people are getting their stickers and their registrations and so on. I think it's making an impact, for sure. So I think the tickets are probably the next step.
Well, the deputy's doing a good job. So that's real helpful. Marjorie?
So did we get an estimate of the cost and how much we're gonna
They should have it
order?
in,
Yeah, it's on.
Does everybody have a copy of the?
Oh, it's on the, I didn't even read the back.
where is it?
It's, so you have the ticket on one side, it's on the other side.
Oh, I gave mine to Millie, I guess. So what is the cost
No,
of,
mine.
So
mine's
for
blank.
1,000 is 450.
and then, so where would we appropriate that money from?
I don't know, can we just take it out of the general fund, or?
Well, I need a line item, so, yeah, the supply line under law enforcement is only $250. There's an equipment repair line that we haven't used of $500.
Maybe it should be something like office supplies or,
So is that, so supplies under law enforcement, is that where, okay.
I don't think I gave you this, but this is,
Oh, I saw that, I think we had it,
yeah, Good Impressions sent that.
right.
They do the 3-part one. They usually, this is a, like a lobster buying slip, but they would customize it to whatever.
And that's from where?
Adventure.
That's the same place, oh,
Yep.
okay. Yeah, it says 3-part,
Yep.
okay. Is the parking or stopping left side to curb, is that something we have to add to the parking?
If
Ordinance.
if you're looking at parking against traffic, that is not in our ordinance. That's something the select board would have to vote on.
Oh, that was actually never in the ordinance?
So,
No.
Isn't that state law though?
No, as it turns out. We asked Peter, the deputy, about it, and he could,
There's
no,
no state
unless
law,
it's in our
all
ordinance.
town
So
Municipalities.
oddly enough, I mean, creates kind of a
Well, I
hazardous,
had one that almost ran into the front of the backhoe today, in front of the bank, because he pulled in and came right up to me, and I was sleeping, and I stopped and just looked at him. He just
yeah,
sat there.
yeah, I mean, people pulling out into traffic, it's dangerous. So we just have, we'd have to put that on the next agenda. How do we do that, Marjorie, to get that in the ordinance?
I believe the parking ordinance is, you can change, it's not a town meeting ordinance.
Oh, okay, so we can do it right now?
Traffic, yeah,
Well, I would,
I'm sorry.
no, that's fine.
Do you want me to, do
I didn't mean to interrupt. Continue if you had more.
you want me to draft it for next time and you can approve it?
Well, I think the first thing we need to do is approve the parking tickets. And then make another motion to approve that parking or stopping left side to curb
Adding it to the ordinance.
and adding that to the ordinance. So
Parking
Let's-
against traffic or
do you,
whatever.
so maybe I should reverse it. We should add that to the ordinance first and then decide if we want to do the parking tickets.
I think it's a good idea.
Okay, do you guys agree?
Yep.
All right, so I would make a motion that we add the parking or stopping left side to curb to the, parking ordinance.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. And then let's discuss the tickets themselves. You guys have questions for Millie or any thoughts or ideas?
we already have the infrastructure built for towing vehicles. We already have the administrative part set up for towing vehicles. I'm not a big fan of adding administrative duties. If we really want to impact illegal parking, just have the vehicle towed. Then we have it, and once people know that we're towing vehicles, if they're not parked properly, they'll stop parking wrong.
What do you think, Millie?
So, I don't think, I think we would be towing so many vehicles, first of all. It would be a lot of extra on us. Right now, we are towing, when we can, but we can't always get a tow truck. One is down and out, and then the other one is, only certain people. We did put one on the rented, tilt trailer we had, but the way that one tilts, it was quite a challenge to get the vehicle onto the trailer without it hooking up. And I think, Tom, you're gonna find that it's not gonna be a good scene when we go down and try to tow somebody's vehicle from, parked wrong, say in front of the bar or in a handicap space at Carver's or something like that. There's gonna be people screaming, causing scenes, I think the ticket's the way to go. It's not a lot of administrative. I have more paperwork probably with the towing the vehicles because we have to do the paperwork for it. We have to take inventory of it if they're leaving anything in it. It's a lot of work. Then we have to send letters out. They have to come here and pay, which would be the same with the ticket. But I think the towing part itself would actually add on more than the administrative duties will add.
Also,
That I don't disagree, but you're on the paperwork part on the towing, I completely understand that part of it.
Yeah.
I just don't see the tickets are gonna have the impact that you're hoping they're gonna have.
Well,
I think that a lot of people are
that's why I think,
gonna toss them in the trash.
that's why we were talking trial and revisit in 90 days.
Yep.
See what happens.
Dawn?
Let's try the tickets first and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard to get a car on a trailer there's cars parked behind it and cars parked in front of it, how are you gonna get it?
Oh, trust me, you get them out.
I think,
I towed cars
Well,
for
I'm
12
sure
years.
maybe you could, but I
Anyway.
don't know that, that.
We're not, you know, and we're not trained tow truck drivers
Right.
either.
Yeah,
Leslie?
Blocking off half a Main Street
I
to get,
know.
to get one car towed, I don't know.
We actually have to have the keys to tow them because we have to drive them up onto the,
Yeah.
Right,
is all of the signage where it needs to be?
except for in front of the bar, from the parking lot in front of the bar. All the rest of them, no parking signs unless they've been ripped up, which happens. I
Okay.
found two in a ditch the other day when I was digging the ditch out, so.
Okay, I think that,
We're missing already a bunch of speed limit signs have been torn up and
I think the trial with the tickets,
never ending.
I know,
That's a
that's
good
so
idea.
ridiculous. Yes, I agree. All right, so the consent, the vote, do you wanna vote on this now then? Is everybody else set? Got any more questions? Okay, I'd make a motion that we start, putting, what am I trying to say?
Issuing?
Issuing, thank you for that word. That was way far to retrieve. To issue parking citations here on Vinalhaven, a new first.
second,
All in favor? Opposed? Okay. I hope it helps. That certainly there's an awful lot of, cars in the way sometimes, and it is hazardous, so we'll see how it goes. Thank you, Millie. Moving on to new business. 9A, sign election warrants for the school and the town.
There's one for the school, this just calls the election. The school one, there ain't much room, but squeeze in there.
We can do it.
And then there's the town.
Okay, thank you. My pen is not
Need a fine point for,
working. Yes.
and strong glasses.
I would like to recommend to the business office that they supply us with better pens, please.
and more space to write.
That's tiny, tiny.
I don't mind paying for my own pen either.
I'll make a note.
Thank you. Put that in the minutes.
Buy her one of those Italian pens. Bill
Oh,
it to her, and they're like $600 for a pen.
A little fine point quill.
Yeah. With a feather on it. John Hancock.
so while we're in the signing mood, we'll move right into B, 9B, review and approve annual leases, the old fire hall and Indian Creek Bridge.
If you could just make a motion to approve the renewal of these leases and authorize me to sign them, then
Oh, okay.
I will get them processed.
Yep.
This is
So
the,
moved.
Second,
Second,
all in favor?
how was that, Marge? Was that easy enough?
That was
Careful
quick.
what you wish for.
That was very quick. Okay, and 9C, Marjorie?
Faye has introduced some, a proposed change to the schedule of fees for the land use ordinance. I mean, generally, town-wide, we try to have the fee schedules separate from the ordinance so that the selectmen can just amend the fees, like the transfer station fees or the land use ordinance fees. So she is suggesting, she did a lot of work. I think I gave you the page where she compared what other towns are doing and get some averages. She is proposing that we increase the application fee to $30. I mean, as you can see, the other towns are all over the place. Some are $60, some are nothing. You know, the average is $23 $2,250. There, as she says, there hasn't been an increase since 2019. Most towns do charge more than the 15 cents per square foot that she's suggesting. When the office staff reviewed this, we did have some questions. For instance, on this application, or on this schedule of fees, it says subdivision application is $500, but when you look at the ordinance, this is one fee that is actually printed in the ordinance as $100. So if it's in the ordinance, I believe we just have to leave it at $100, but it is, in addition to that, $100 per lot. So unless we wanted to do an amendment to the ordinance, I don't believe that we can charge the $500. I don't know, did we ever discover where the 500 came from on a previous, yeah, I don't know, I don't really know. And then we just wanted to clarify about the after-the-fact permit, where it says double the normal permit fee, $500 minimum. So is that either or? So you do double the normal permit fee, or it's a minimum of 500? So let's say the permit fee was supposed to be $50. So then would it be $100?
No, minimum would be 500, the minimum fee,
Oh, the minimum is
Yeah.
500.
yeah.
Double the normal permit fee, but a minimum of 500, but not, okay. All
That's the
right.
way I'm reading it.
That's how I took it.
And then
No
would it,
less than.
If the permit was gonna be,
and then
was
would it
500,
be,
it was be
I'm
1,000.
sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay. Just try to,
But would there, and then our other question is, would there also be a $25 application fee? So the after the fact would be $525?
What have we, I mean, have we,
It's gone both ways, so the staff, the office staff isn't sure. And frequently, we get left with the responsibility of trying to collect the fee. So we have these questions. So should that be clarified, that it's in addition to the $25 application fee, or she's recommending 30 now?
well, I mean, after the fact, to me, you should, I mean, if, I don't know what reasons you would have after the fact. If you're adding something,
Well, if you built
I
something.
mean, I know what it means.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I know what it means, I'm just saying it, if you did something that was, you knew you were doing it, and then it's like, oh, well, can I do an after the fact permit? To me, it should be way more than that, and plus the $30 application
I think the
fee.
application fee should be charged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
Because
too.
they-
You're asking forgiveness at that point.
They didn't pay an application fee to start with,
Right, there,
so it should,
theoretically, there's no permit.
right.
I mean, most people that build and not in line with the ordinance, most times they're not clueless, let's put it that way,
Yeah.
I
so.
don't know. And then the other question we had, the last update to the ordinance, the land use ordinance that we did, there was a section added about needing a permit for demolition. And our questions, so is that, since, you're demolishing something, there's no per foot fee, so is it just the $25 application fee that we're asking them to pay? We're asking them to put in an application to
So it's-
demolish a building.
So the application fee will apply.
Right,
Period.
Yeah,
but there's no additional fee. I mean, we've seen the demolition permits that have come to us, it's kind of all over the place, right? Yeah, so just to clarify, to put on here, a demolition permit would just be the application fee.
Unless we.
Does that
right.
sound right?
I don't understand what you mean by all over the place.
Some of the demolition permits, they collected like a per foot fee.
When we get the application at the counter, sometimes it's like a building permit, application fee and per foot fee. But if you're tearing it down, we didn't
And
feel
the-
like
and
you
the
should be
ordinance isn't
paying
clear
per foot
on
to
it?
tear
No.
it
Yeah,
down.
that, I agree.
So it just
Well,
to spell it out, keep it consistent, and so we all know.
Yeah,
You pay for the
Right.
application fee to demolish something, and it's what, $30?
Yeah,
as I started out saying, we try to keep the fees out of the ordinance itself so that the selectmen have the ability to adjust those fees.
Right.
So there's nothing in the ordinance under the section for demolition that spells out, but it seems logical to the office staff that it would just be the application.
yeah,
I
I,
agree.
I agree.
that sounds good.
Yeah, cause like especially if, you know,
Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
that and you're tearing down, let's say you're tearing down an old house, do you need to pay a square footage fee to tear it down and then pay a square footage fee for whatever?
To build.
Put it up.
something
To
new.
put it up. Yeah,
Right.
if you're building, it just seems like you'd be, it's kind of a double whammy.
Well, that's kind of what we
I
were
mean, really, the
thinking.
intent of that ordinance was just so that we knew people were tearing things down, correct?
Pardon?
The intent of that ordinance, the demolition part of the ordinance was so the town was aware that buildings were being taken down.
I didn't myself agree with that, adding that section, but it did get
That came from
through,
the.
came from the planning commission,
from the land use ordinance,
but it's in there now.
Right.
So we're having to administratively deal
Right.
with it.
right,
So, I mean, I think I was vocal at the time that I didn't agree with putting it in there, but, it's in there now.
Right.
Right,
that was when I think that special town meeting happened early on after I got on the board.
One of the sections in there that we definitely have a hard time with is, for instance, there was one permit where someone came in and applied for a demolition, and we have to send a notice to everyone within 500 feet.
Right.
And it was like, how many did we have to send out?
It was close to 50.
Yeah, and it seemed
Wow.
really ridiculous. So the planning commission did recognize that, and they want to reduce that to within 200 feet, which would be easier for us. I mean, you'd
But in
have
the
to
mean-
ask the planning commission.
but in the meantime, you're asking if we would agree that that would just be the application fee for the
I-
demolition.
The office staff would like it clarified on the
Right.
fee schedule. So if you agree, I think what we'll do is go back and type up a clean fee schedule and then bring it back
Okay.
for approval. But I just wanted to generally get your approval. I don't disagree with increasing the per square foot. Does anybody have objections to any of these other ones? And what about increasing the application fee from 25 to 30?
That's fine.
No objection. Okay. All right, so I'll get a clean copy and then bring it back to the board. Yeah.
I know this isn't the time, but why isn't it just the abutting landowners that would get notified of a demolition? Why does it need to be,
Certain amount of fee.
yeah,
I don't
says
disagree with you, personally.
yeah. Like I said, we don't need to get in, I just kind
I
of,
can't speak for the planning commission.
The
They
changes
have
have to
their
come
own.
through us anyway, so any change
Right.
would have to come through and be approved by us before we
And
go
we're
to town
very
meeting.
close to having the final shoreland zoning amendments that were mandated by the state, but we haven't done yet. We've been working with Mid-Coast Council of Governments, a representative, to help us get through that. And we had our last meeting, so he's gonna be sending me the final redlined version, so to speak, and then that will come to you all. And there is a proposal in there from the planning commission to reduce that 500 to 200, but that would be the time. I mean, certainly the select board authorizes what goes to town meeting.
Right.
So that would be the opportunity to review it from your perspective.
Perfect,
Okay.
thank you.
Can I have a quick question?
Yes, certainly.
Clarification. In the ordinance, it says a permit shall be required from the planning board for the demolition of any structure 200 square feet or more. So just to clarify the fee schedule, are we saying an application of 30 and then a permit fee.
No,
There's a minimum permit fee of $20, right, or $25?
I don't know, say it again?
There's a minimum permit fee of $20.
I don't understand. I thought that was the application fee.
There's an application fee of 25. Then if you, to put any building, the permit fee is $20. The
That's right.
minimum fee is
Yep.
$20.
So I would say no for demolition.
So are we saying
I would say
demolition
no
is
for them.
only
That's-
an
That would be my
application?
opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, just clarifying, demo is only app fee.
Oh, I see right here,
Yeah,
minimum building. Okay.
yeah. Cause it says a
Well, you're not
permit shall
building
be
anything,
required.
so.
Right, exactly.
Right,
Right, but
Sorry.
a permit shall be required. There's a permit and there's an application. So are we saying,
Oh, okay, so that's a place where we could
yeah,
make that more clear.
yes.
I see what you mean, okay.
All right,
Good point.
And what was the, decision on after the fact? I went to go get my ordinance.
So I don't know how to make that more clear. I mean, that's something that we can talk about.
Okay,
Just, any wording would be, after the fact would be a minimum fee of $500 or double the required permit fee.
Yeah,
or,
Whichever-
it's one or,
The greater of the two,
okay,
something along that line.
okay.
That would kind of clean it up, make it read better.
Okay. All right, I'm good.
this is what after the fact.
do you have a question, Don?
Yeah, I'm having still struggle why we have to have a permit for a demo, period, other than on historical district or historical buildings. That just doesn't seem right.
Unfortunately, it's in the ordinance unless we change that, it's in.
I
we're
just
stuck
think
with
it should, I think it's an
That's-
oversight, it's in there, period.
Well,
it's in the ordinance, so we can't just make it go away.
We can make it go, well,
Well, I mean, there's steps.
We
What I'm
could, we
saying is
can.
we just can't vote tonight to get
No,
rid of
no.
it, that we have to go through the
Yes,
appropriate
exactly.
I'm
steps.
just saying, in the future, we
Exactly.
should consider that.
Okay, that can come up in conversation when we see the red line version.
yeah.
Okay, so just make notes to yourself, you have some specific things you want to address when we get that. Is that good? Okay. Any other questions about this? We're all set? And we can move on to 10, report of town manager. Marjorie, anything else?
I just have a few updates. I sent the airport lease off to our attorney, and I'm gonna have a conversation with him by telephone tomorrow, so it's just moving along in the process. We did already receive our, called an engagement letter for our fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025 audit. If you like, they're giving us 30 days to sign this and pay half of the cost. It's been difficult in the past few years to get an auditor, because so many CPA firms are getting out of the business of doing municipal audits. So there was kind of a scuffle a few years ago. We finally got this company. This company seems to be doing the majority of the municipal audits now. I guess I can bring it to the next meeting, which would be June.
June 5, 5?
Three, it says at the bottom of the
Three.
thing.
Or
Huh,
if
somebody
you
was smart and put that.
want to give me permission to sign the June 30th, 2025 audit engagement letter, I can get it signed and get it back to them. But I can also just put it on the next agenda.
is there any reason to wait?
Well, it's pretty, if it was something unusual, but these letters are pretty much boilerplate letters, these engagement letters from audit companies. If I had any concerns, I think you know that I would tell you. what my concerns were, but this year, they are asking, they're giving us 30 days to return the engagement letter, and we have to pay 50% of the cost, just to get on their list, I guess, you know.
What is
because,
50% of the cost?
half of 15,300.
Holy crap.
7,500 and 7,650,
That's just to get on the list.
15,100, I'm sorry.
That's just to get on the list.
7,550.
Yeah,
Didn't we just finish an audit? I feel like we just finished an audit.
we haven't even gotten the
The findings?
The 2024 is being finalized, and but we haven't gotten a copy of that yet. I'm mildly concerned that we just need to get on their list so that we have someone, in line to do
Right.
our audit. 'Cause there was
I would just assume we go ahead and sign it, and we're gonna have to,
just authorize me to
Yeah,
sign the
And the quicker we're
engagement
on, the
letter.
quicker we're on the list, the quicker we're likely to get it done. You know,
In theory.
In theory.
Well, generally, the audits don't come in real quick anyway, I don't believe, from what I understand, but anyway, if that's what you want, if that's, you all agree that that's what you wanna do?
We're gonna have to do it
Make a mo-
regardless.
Make a motion, for Marjorie to send 50% of the payment for the audit. Is that,
Give me permission to sign the engagement letter.
thank you.
Second.
All in favor? Oh, Millie, did you have a question?
No, I'm fine.
I'm sorry,
it's gonna cost
okay.
15 grand
Oh, and
today, or 15 grand in 2 weeks, so.
Right.
What happens if they don't do it?
I need to apologize to you about that, the ambulance write-offs that we talked about at the last meeting. What Darlene had given me, that list, was a list that was supposed to go to collections. So the only thing that really is getting written off are the few deceased people. So what what our collection agency, or not our collection, our administrative agency, the people that handle our ambulance
Medical
fee
reimbursement
collections,
services.
yeah, medical reimbursement services, they just wanted permission to send all of these to collections, other than those
Oh.
few deceased people.
Okay.
So I went ahead and said, okay, just send them to collections. So that's what really happened. I misunderstood, because at the top of this, it said write-off, so I'm like, oh, So I apologize that I misunderstood what this list was. So, anyway,
I'm glad we talked about it for 20 minutes.
I'm sorry.
Apology accepted.
When I make a mistake, I admit that I make a mistake.
Well, it does say write-offs.
Yeah,
It did say write-offs.
Oh, and I received a letter from, an email from Bill Gary saying that the new fees will be implemented June 1st, 2025. I think we all,
Is
Speaking
it,
of them, the Sheriff Ferry Service, nice letter, by the way, to respond
Yes.
on
Yes.
that. Have you had any response back from that letter, or
not from that letter, no.
Yeah. It was a good letter?
it was a
Thank
good
you.
letter.
Yeah,
Thank
well
you.
done.
So is it the 13.5%?
Yes.
Wow.
well, it's better than what they were proposing.
No, I know, it just pissed me off.
Okay, anything else, Marjorie?
I don't think so.
So, 11, report of members. Tom?
Good.
Lad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Take
We-
my place back.
I know, that's what, hold on, here we go.
Marge and I talked about this, and it kind of segues into the ferry rate change, about, if in June, the tariff would be opened up to do some rewriting. And that being said, if, I can't remember how you worded it,
The island-specific portions, I did send an email to Bill Gary, and I said, will there be an opportunity for us to amend any island-specific parts of the tariff? Because they have to update the tariff when they have new rates. And he said to, send him, whatever we are requesting. But I don't know how much time we have, but, lads,
So I guess that being said, can the tariff committee, how do we rattle the
Well-
tariff committee's cage?
I sent an email to, this is the Ferry Tariff Advisory Committee, and in my mind, what their purpose is and was, is to offer the selectmen suggestions to amend the tariff, the island-specific parts of the tariff. There's things in there that say, that we want the mail truck to be able to get on, because we want our mail, things like that. And there's a fishing priority, there's different things. So I sent an email to all of the members of that, all of the members of that committee currently, and 2 of them resigned. So I'm not sure, I guess they just don't want to participate anymore. One member said that definitely she wanted to continue, and I didn't hear from the other 2 members. But Lad and I talked about doing a new committee formation document to, make sure that we understand and have a clarity around what the goal is of that committee, that they're to bring suggestions to this board for changes to the tariff. But now, having said that, I don't know how much time we have to get a new committee of people together. Is it something that you as a board would like to just look at the island-specific pieces and, the one member that we have, or if people want to offer suggestions, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I don't know, what are your thoughts about it?
Well, it seems to me if Lad is wanting to change stuff,
Well, me personally, I don't have any changes. I just have had people come to me and ask for changes, and then I went, talked to Marge, and that committee hasn't met in like over a year.
Yeah, that's the issue,
So I just thought it might be time.
we just wanted to try to revitalize this committee and get them to meet and discuss these issues. And, maybe do a new formation document to,
Refocus.
refocus and write down what is your purpose? What is your goal?
How often do you meet? And,
Yeah,
all of those things.
And you need to report back to the selectmen about, your activities. Anyway, that was
a good idea.
that was the
Yeah,
idea.
that's a good idea.
So I think that what we could do is start to advertise again for some new members, people that would like to participate, but in the meantime, do you have interest in looking at this island-specific part of the tariff yourselves, and to see if we want to submit something to Bill? Maybe there's nothing that we need to amend,
yeah, we've
what's
looked
on
at
there?
it before. We've looked at it before.
Well, as I said, there's different priorities. There's a fishing industry priority to help get them back and forth. There's the mail, we want our mail trucks to get on in the morning. Those are the only 2 I can think of off the top of my
Can we
head.
get a list?
Fuel
What?
truck,
Can we get a list?
Oh, yeah.
Why can't we just have it on the next agenda and we can have, put it on, and then we'll have the information and we can decide what we wanna do?
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay, thank you.
Nope.
Go on, Don.
You're disappointing me.
I'll try to do better next time.
No, that's fine.
I
Leslie?
had something and now I can't remember what it was completely for me.
Well, there, that retrieval issue always
Oh,
pops up
yes,
there, doesn't it?
I'll think of it around midnight
Yeah,
tonight.
well, okay, save it for next time.
Yeah, so I can forget it again.
And I have nothing, so that's a good thing, and I'm gonna go right into number 12.
There we go.
Adjourn.
It's the loud o'clock.
Second,
Motion to adjourn,
Second.
seconded, all in favor?
all right.
Thanks. Thank you.
Bye, Gabe.
Thanks.
Can't recall,
Thank you.
that's only supposed to be
Thank
for the old people like Don and Pam.
What,